In this video, I'm going to show you how to install mods for Assetto Corsa so you can get out with custom cars, tracks and weather and servers. But to do that, we're going to need 3 essential mods first that allow it all to happen. We're going to need Content Manager, which is a custom launcher and will be how you interact with Assetto Corsa going forward. Second, we're going to need the Custom Shaders Patch or CSP. This is an essential addition to the simulator which will make it run better, add many more settings, better optimizations and physics. This is a must-have. And lastly, there's mods that can make the game look absolutely incredible, can change time of day and weather and stuff like that, which we have Sol, which is free, and we have Pure, which is paid. Generally, these 3 mods are absolutely essential and are usually required to be installed and updated to join multiplayer servers. Part 1. Installing Content Manager. Down below in the description there will be a link to this page up here, which will bring you to Content Manager's site where you can download it. Here, there is a light version and a more extensive version that you can donate any amount to receive a license key. But if you're just getting started, the light version is absolutely perfect. Scroll down until you find this link where it says download directly, or any of these will work, but this is the preferable link, and you will have this file here. You want to open this file with any kind of extraction tool or compression program like 7-zip or WinRAR, which I'll leave a link down below to. 7-zip is preferable for all this modding stuff as everyone seems to use it. And we're going to take contentmanager.exe and we're going to move it somewhere where it's easy to access. This is going to be how we run and access Assetto Corsa going forward, so make sure to keep this safe as this is not a shortcut, but this is the actual program. Next up, we're going to run the program. Double click it and it's going to open up a window. Here we've got a notification saying that there is a new version, update is ready, and it has recreated a new file. So what we're going to do is we're going to close this, double click the update file, which should update it, and delete that file, and now Content Manager is updated. Now we're going to have to tell Content Manager where Assetto Corsa is installed on our PC. So to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to come over to Steam, and we're going to find our game in our Steam library, right click it, go to Manage, go to Browse Local Files, which will open up this window here in Windows Explorer, and this is where your game is installed. We're going to right click on the blank area to the right of this, and we're going to copy this, or copy as text if it gives you the option. And we're going to put that in here, if it wasn't already in here and working. If you're getting a red error here which says content is missing, come back to Steam, right click on Assetto Corsa, go to Properties, go to Installed Files, and verify the integrity of game files. The chances are you're actually missing something and your download isn't fully complete. Pressing this will check all the files, make sure everything's there, and if anything is missing, it'll start downloading. Then what you do is just simply close this out, reopen it again when the download is done, and the error should be gone. We're going to hit Install Recommended Plugins. I already have them, so there should be a little error that pops up. There we go. And then we're going to press OK. Previously, if you were prompted to install 7-zip and CEF#, do install them as they will come in handy. Anything else isn't really needed. You'll notice now that we are in Content Manager, so it's worth familiarizing yourself with all this, but don't be too intimidated as it does take time to get to grips with it. But in general, this is how you access the sim. You can choose a car from your many cars that you're going to have, hopefully. Select a track, then you can choose practice, hot lap, race, and then you can press go down here to get going. There's also weather, time, and different kind of assists that we can do, but in general, this is how you're going to get racing in single player. There's also career mode here, and there's also online mode up here where you can access servers and join in with other people, but we're not done yet. We're going to need some other stuff first. So let's go up to settings. Let's come to Custom Shaders Patch here. We're going to install Custom Shaders Patch. Now, once this installs, you're going to see there's going to be quite a lot of new settings, many settings that makes this really cool. You're also going to see it's been updated to the available version, which is a safe build of 0.1.79. Generally, we can go to the latest untested build. There's no real issue with that unless there's a specific server or mod asking you to move back to a particular build. But in general, it's safe enough to go to the latest version. Custom Shaders Patch also has a paid version, which I'll leave a link down below to if you want, which comes with stuff like rain and some added features that are really cool and really worth it. But in general, moving forward with this, you won't need this to continue on. But if you do go for it, you will get a downloadable file from the Patreon, and then you can drop it into Content Manager. And like most of the mods here, you click up here and then press install, and then that's it. It's installed. Now for part 3 of this video, we're going to need something like Sol or Pure. We only need one of these to work. So you can either go with Sol, which is free, but it is a bit outdated at this point, or you can go with Pure, which is a bit newer and in my opinion much better, but it is paid. So it costs about $1 a month on the creator's Patreon, which gives you access to the file, which you can then download. I'll show you how to install both here. The link to Sol will be in the description. Here it is. And then once you sign in on Overtake's website, they have plenty of other mods, so it's well worth creating an account here. You can click the mods file link and that'll download the file. Once you get the file, open it up using 7-zip, and then we're going to see these files in here. With the Sol pack opened up and our Assetto Corsa root folder open, what we're going to do is we're going to go into Sol, and then we're going to copy all these guys bar this. So we're going to copy the 4 folders and the uninstall bat file and drop it into our Assetto Corsa root folder. Now come back into Content Manager, come to Settings, Custom Shaders Patch, Weather FX, and then in here come to Weather Style. We can set this to Sol now. Also scroll up here into Assetto Corsa Settings, and then we're going to come to Python Apps, and then we're going to make sure Sol is turned on across the board. Then the last step is to come back to Drive, come to Weather, Controllers, and then select Sol 2.5. That is Sol installed. Now to install Pure, if you've gone with it, this is the Patreon link, which is in the description down below. You can subscribe to Peter Bowes, and then you can scroll down and find the download link. We're going to want the high-res version. We're going to download this file, and then we're going to install it. This is probably a good point to do a gentle reminder, as Rain does not come with Pure or Sol or anything like that. It comes from the Custom Shaders Patch preview build, which is the paid version of Custom Shaders Patch like we installed. Now to install Pure, we're going to take the file we downloaded, which is this. We're going to open it up using our extraction tool. We're also going to open up Assetto Corsa, the root folder, and we're going to go into this Pure 2.57 folder, and we're going to see these files here. These are files you can use to uninstall older versions of Pure and Sol, and you can keep them inside your directory. We're going to move these 2 and these 4 folders into the Assetto Corsa directory in our Steam folder. With this little bar loading, it's probably a good time to let you know that you are almost there. And if you have any issues so far, jump in the comment section down below and let me know if you need help. And if you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing, as I'd love to have you around. Now, back to the guide. Now with Pure installed, we're going to come to our settings. We're going to come to Custom Shaders Patch, down to Weather FX, and then we have 2 styles here. We have Pure Gamma or Pure LCS. Both can be used, but I really recommend LCS. Most people who have taught me how to do this have recommended LCS, so we're going to select LCS. This supports linear color space shaders as well, so LCS is the more desirable one in my opinion. Then go to Drive, come to Weather, come to Controllers, and then select Pure. Now the final step for either Sol or Pure is to come to your settings, is to come to your Assetto Corsa video settings, and here you'll see some post-processing settings here. You want to set a filter. Sol will have its own, Pure will have its own, but here I'm going to use Pure Candy, but you can experiment and see what you like. Overtake is also a great place if you do want to find some custom filters to make your game look even better. Here we can come to categories, Assetto Corsa, AC Misc, and then filter by most downloads. And here we can see the natural mod PP filter. We can scroll down for some pictures to see what it's going to make it look like, which is pretty impressive. And the download button for this is right up here. Similar to before, if you want to install this, we can just open this up, go to mods, open up our root folder, click in here, we take system, and then we'll drag it into here. Be careful not to put it into any folders. In general, if you see a folder, you want to drop it in with the folder in the root that it's in. You don't want to be dropping it into system. That's a common mistake that will cause some pretty bad issues for you. So be careful about this. If you see a folder like this or content, you want to drop it with it. And by this, I'm talking in the blank space here. So when I drop this in, it has joined into here. Now I can see natural mod here and I can select this as my filter. Now, one of the last things we want to do is go back to our settings with our filters and our Sol or Pure installed. Come to video settings and then scroll down here. We want to select anything that's not static. Most Pure and Sol recommend 2 faces per frame, which this is basically how pretty the reflections are going to look. You can go quite high on this if you want. Just make sure it's higher than static. If you do need extra performance, you can put this down to 1 face per frame, but 2 faces per frame is desirable. Now, before we jump in and test anything out, we're just going to make sure we have our controllers set up. I'm hoping you all do. If not, you can skip ahead into the video. Here, I'm just going to calibrate my steering, my throttle, my brakes, and my clutch. And we're going to scroll down and find the buttons, which will also be my shifters. So I'm going to remove the H shifter, shift up, shift down, and those are the basics we need for now. Now, let's select a car and a track and hit go. And let's check that everything works fine. Now that we're in the sim, we can go over to the apps page, which as I'm on triple screens is in the top furthermost right corner of the screen. And here we can see different config files. So if we scroll up here, We can see pure config, we can see pure planner, and if you have Sol, it'll be in here too. So we can open up pure config and pure planner. Now that you have the pure config and the pure planner open, this is where you can change the time of day and get it exactly to where you want. If you want a nice sunset kind of vibe, anything you can do here. In the pure config, you can set quality presets. There's lots of settings, and there's also the pure checklist, which will make sure that CSP, all the settings are correct there. Now, if you want to set the time of day, you can simply click here and you can set it to exactly where you want it to be. And then we can change the weather now. If you have installed the CSP preview model, you can actually just whack it on. We can have a bit of a light drizzle and then go for a spin in some kind of light sunrise conditions at the Nordschleife. But we're not done yet. And I will say, if you've made it this far and you do have some errors, make sure you go back and make sure you've done everything according to the plan here, because there's a lot of different things you got to do to get it right. So if you do have any funky effects happening, go back and maybe you missed a step or post it in the comments. But now we're going to install mods, the proper mods. We have the essential mods installed. Now what we need to install is the cars and the tracks. And installing cars and tracks couldn't be any easier. We're going to come back to Overtake. We're going to go to AC Cars and we're going to find a car that we kind of like. BMW 330i, we can go with that. Press download. And then it's going to give us a RAR file, which we can simply drag and drop into Assetto Corsa. And here we can see it says install. We're going to press install. And before we know it, it's going to be installed and it's going to be sitting in our library. The same goes for tracks. You can just drag and drop them. But if you have to do it the manual way, you can just take your file here, the actual mod, the Assetto Corsa root folder, and again we're going to add folders with folders. We're not going to put content into content, and as we can see inside content, if we look in here, there's a cars folder, there's a driver folder, and there's a fonts folder. So we can either go in here and move these files into here, or we can move content in with content. So I've moved cars, drivers, and fonts in with these guys. I didn't put cars onto cars because then there would be a cars folder inside my cars folder and that wouldn't work. And then that's our mod installed. Now that we have our mod installed, we can simply find it as we install the car. It's going to be in the car section, and here it is, the BMW 330 Ci E46. Press OK and it's ready to rock. If this guide was helpful for you, let me know down below. And if you do have any issues, also put them down below and I'll do my best I can to help you out, or someone else in the community can. If you enjoyed the video, I'd be greatly appreciated if you could drop a like on this. That way it gets it out to other like-minded sim racers like yourself, and I'll see you on the track.